Hey everybody, welcome to the Dilla and Doug Experience. We're very happy to have you guys listening and watching our videos on YouTube. Today's topic is police brutality. And also I want to mention that our show, our platform, talks about lifestyle, modern issues, and politics. So please feel free to share, subscribe, and like. Now, back to our main topic for today, police brutality. Dougie, have you experienced any police brutality issues or injustice?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that's the case, but I've seen a lot of people who have been in that particular situation or scenario.
Right.
Yeah, like for example, there was a video that was posted a few weeks ago on Black Vancouver. So Black Vancouver it's an Instagram page.
Yeah, shout out to Black Vancouver, man. You guys put out a lot of context. We like that.
Yeah,
keep putting up more of that good stuff, guys.
There was two kids that was seen in the video. There was a complaint that was apparently given or sent out to the police, whatever.
Police sent out a complaint.
No, the neighbors of those girls,
right,
at where they were staying in Surrey. So they said that there was a gun that was being played with. I'm not sure what kind of gun, but I'm guessing it was a toy gun. So the police came over and they didn't really treat the girls in a really good way. You know what I mean? And they're kids, So how do you expect kids to have a gun?
How old are we talking?
They were young. I think they were 19, 18.
Okay. So young adults.
Yeah, they were somewhere around that age. And they were just in the group of cops that showed up, there was a few good ones, as they said in the video, but
right.
There was a couple that were not really treating them, in a respectful manner or way. And the gun that was that they thought that the kids had, they didn't really have it. The tenant had the BB gun that he was playing with. So, and he was not even told to get out of the house. While the kids were told to get out of the house, to search the house, they thought the kids had the gun. While it was the tenant that had the toy gun. And he was the one who was causing all the issues for the neighbors. So, it was just insane the way they got treated. I don't really think that.
Was this in an apartment or?
No, it was in a house.
In a house, okay.
Yeah. The video is on the Black Vancouver page. I'll try and link it down below in the description. But yeah, it was just insane the way they got treated, because I just think they could have done a better job. You know what I mean?
I mean, for example, the gun situation. These police are coming in. They don't know what's the situation, right? That's a different scenario. I mean, there's a gun, whether it's a BB gun or a regular gun. They don't know that. All the police heard was a gun, and the neighbor was right. There was
it was a toy gun. Yeah,
it was a toy gun, but you can't tell from across the street because the guns now are pretty. The toy guns are pretty descriptively, what do you call it? Yeah, they're going to chew me for this word. Descriptively designed. Like, they're very detailed. You know what I mean? So, if I'm holding a toy gun on this side and you're on the other side, it's very difficult for you to see that this is a toy gun. This is not a real gun. So, I understand. Police could have done a better job, but given the circumstances of the incident, there was a gun involved. Whether they found out it was a toy gun, but at the time when they were approaching it, yes, there was a mention of the gun and it was a toy gun. So unfortunately, they got treated the way they were. But on the police defense, a gun is a gun. With all these mass shootings going around, I'm sure they felt some type of way approaching it the way they did. But again, I'm not rewarding or condoning their behavior. We have to see the way they approached it. Maybe it was after, maybe the girls were disrespectful, despite the fact that they were, in possession of a toy gun, wearing around, and neighbors did not know what it was, right? So, and when you talk about children, I thought they were like 9, 10, 12. I mean, 19, those are young adults. They're legal age.
Yeah. What happens when you file a police complaint with the OPCC.
Oh yeah. So the main topic today was the OPCC. Police. The OPCC is the Office of the Police Complaint Commissioner, and what these guys do, they're the quote unquote independent body that was put together to police the police. You know what I mean? Office of the Police Complaint Commissioner. So the people who work here, I believe most of them are civilians. And it's not what these organizations represent, is how little power they were given is the problem.
What do you mean by little power? What kind of power do they have, or what can they do?
Okay, so for example, and also I will speak from a personal experience. When you file a complaint with the OPCC, Office of Police Complaint Commissioner, the OPCC takes your statement, and then they read it, and then they send it to the involved police department. For example, it could be VPD, it could be Barnaby RCMP, it could be Victoria Saanich Police, Central Saanich Police, or Lanford. I believe they have RCMP or police. I'm not too sure, but most of the most police departments in BC, I'm not sure about outside the province, but in BC, and maybe this could be nationwide, they all complaints go to them. But when you file the complaint gets sent back to the police department that you're complaining about. So when I say little power they have, in simple terms, the OPCC office, they're just glorified secretaries. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So you're saying they cannot make any kind of decisions.
They cannot investigate independently. So
wait, who investigates the police complaints then?
The police themselves. The police themselves. So, for example, I had complaints with VPD, right? Officer Simrit, back from I think it was 2012. And his partner, Joseph Lodge, they assaulted me, and then they lied on a police report. Right? There was a whole incident. I think it was May something, or May 17, 2012, if I'm correct. I have to check the police report again. But they did not get reprimanded. They did not get interviewed. There was another guy. This is when I found out that when I got called in for the interview to go and speak with somebody, they sent me to 10th Avenue in Cambie. There's a police office there, and I talked to a guy called Calvin Penner, Sergeant Calvin Penner. Dressed up, just regular clothes. I didn't know he was a cop. I thought he worked for the OPCC. So apparently, VPD investigates other VPD. Do you understand what that means? So at first, I did not know what was going on. I thought this is OPCC people, and I'm dealing with them because I was talking with them over the phone prior to that. And when I go there, after the report came in from Calvin Penner, then I'm like, wait a minute. These people assaulted me, and you're sending me back to them for them to come out and say, oh yeah, by the way, we assaulted him. Are you crazy? So what was the point of...
So they cannot agree to what has been done. So it's going to be hard for them to reach a conclusion on the investigation. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so they rely on the report from the police, the same police that lied on the police report. So
basically what you're trying to say is that they cover up for each other, so they don't really throw anyone under the bus. That's what you're saying.
Obviously, yes. The VPD, they all get their payrolls from the same place. Doesn't matter what department of the VPD you work in, you have a VPD badge, or Saanich Police badge, or Central Saanich, or Lanford, or some North Vancouver. They all have internal investigative departments.
Why can't the BC government give more power for a civilian body to investigate the police complaints?
Well, I don't know, because this is purely my opinion. I'm guessing because a lot of police wouldn't have their jobs. They would have to recruit new police. So it's not cost efficient for the province to give more power to OPCC, because OPCC have no power. There was an email. I can read it out to our viewers. I kept every year. So this happened in 2012, but I talked to a girl. I forgot her name. And when I was talking to her, she also had to send a message to the VPD, and then they tell her what they believe or what they think happened. So they need more power, and I think for some weird reason, it is not in the best interest of the police force to give the OPCC office
more power.
More power, because they would be going to jail by the numbers. Like, they'll lose their jobs, lose their pension. So according to, work ethics or whatnot, they will lose their pension. If somebody's working there for 10 years. And
so basically, police officers investigate police officers, and yet we complain why there's no change in the system, because the system hasn't been changed. So that's basically what you're trying to say.
Of course, the system needs to be changed. Now, they keep inventing these new bodies.
New bodies? What do you mean by new bodies?
OPCC, right? It sounds amazing. The idea is fantastic.
But the execution is poor. That's what you're trying to say.
Not because the people at OPCC do not know how to do their jobs, because their hands are tied. So they can only take the complaint and send it to the accused police department and say, hey, we got a complaint about one of your officers. We need you guys to fill us in what's going on. And then the police that has already lied on their police report will send a report to the OPCC, and the OPCC will be like, okay, Mr. Savvy or Mr. So-and-so, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? But that report is not derived solely independently from the OPCC's office. It's based on the report that they received from the complained police department. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's basically your word against theirs at that point.
Against the police. So the OPCC has zero power to say, listen, we want all the police reports. We want to talk to this police officer independently. And then we want to recommend charges to the Crown or recommend disciplinary actions. No. So the police officer internal investigation department has to investigate the police officer, which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And whoever came up with this law, it's ridiculous. The same way you can't sue a police officer.
So basically the BC government and the enforcement community has been taking, BC residents as dummies by putting in fancy words into organizations that have no power. That's basically what you're trying to say.
Say that again.
The BC government.
Right.
And the enforcement community has been taking BC residents as dummies by putting fancy words into organizations that have no power.
Of course, they've turned us into guinea pigs. Absolutely disrespectful. And I'm offended for the fact that I'm a resident of BC and I had to abide by this ridiculous notion that OPCC is a body. They just take records. They have no power. I talked to this girl. She was sad, like borderline depressed about the whole incident. And she said, I have no power. I can tell, I can read, I can see, but they have to say there was misconduct done, not us. Even though we read these things, we can't say there was misconduct done.
Even if the OPCC has complaints, the final decision is always from the police.
Yes. Because here's the thing. The letter is going to come from the OPCC, but where did they get their conclusive information from? The accused body, which is like VPD, Barnaby RCMP, whatever it is. So they would file a report based on the investigation requested from the OPCC to them. You know what I mean? And then they will use that report to answer to the person who complained. For example, myself. So it's useless. It's like just going there to find record. Like they have to have videos and like I don't know.
It's crazy. How can we change the way these police officers are investigated for complaints and for other conducts? Other misconducts.
They should give the OPCC office more power, more intrusive power, I can say. Intrusive, very like extremely intrusive.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Could you expand on that?
Well, for example, when you are caught allegedly speeding, right? They give you a ticket, you go to court, you fight it, and then you might have points to deal with, right? So, do you understand what I'm saying? So you might have points to deal with. Now, if you have points on your driver's license, on top of that, you're going to pay a fine, I don't know, $368, $150, $149, a certain amount of figure, right? Are you with me?
Yeah.
So, sorry, what was the question again?
How can we change the way the police officers are investigated for complaints and other misconduct? Like, what would you change to make the whole process and the system better?
Right, now I get you. Yeah, I had lost thought of it. But they need to give more power to the OPCC. So the OPCC need to have more power. More say, more intrusive power. And also, we need to have a point system. So when a police gets complaints about a particular police, it needs to cost them money. You know, the same way we would get punished if we're caught speeding or driving without a license or whatever. You know, you get points on your driver's record. The police need to have that type of system.
Oh, so you're trying to say that the way we get points towards our driving record, it should be the same way that the police get handled.
Yeah.
So that they could
complaints.
So that they could change their behavior and the way they.
Of course, we should start costing them money and losing their pensions. And when things start happening, they will stop doing this ridiculous shit. And all at the same time, when you get a certain amount of complaints about somebody, you have to suspend them and say, yo, this is too much. And we need to be able to sue these police officers independently.
Should all the police and enforcement officers wear body cam?
Oh, hell yeah.
In BC?
Oh, yeah. By the way, I'll send you a photo. You have to put this up on the video. Yes, they need to wear a body cam. Because this he say, she say business does not work. You could go to court, especially traffic court. It's a guaranteed lose. Like, guaranteed, you're going to lose 100%. So, yes, we need these police officers to have body cams. By the way, I just saw a photo, and I posted it on my Twitter. Handle is Don Diller on Twitter, or at Sabby Diller on Twitter. Go out there, and I have posted a photo of a VPD police car. You want to guess the car? I think it's a 2020 BMW, if it's not a 2021. BMW, I believe it's a 3 Series or a 5 Series as a police car. Can you believe that? Ridiculous. Dougie.
I'm trying to look for the...
Oh, yeah. Just, I'll send you the photo. I mean, it's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Yeah, right here. Let me tag you on it.
Yeah, so basically, you want most of the police officers in BC to wear body cams so that they can be able to track their everything they do.
Of course.
Is there anything else in particular you'd like them to include or to add?
Oh, they need to get these new radars that catch license plates.
Radars that catch license plates.
Yeah, you know how they have these radar guns for speed, like laser guns or whatever they call.
Yeah.
To check on your speed, because it has this laser, it sends and bounces off and sends a feedback. I've seen one in China and some countries in Europe. I forgot which countries exactly. So the police have this radar gun. They will beam your car, and it will have the license plate. It will.
So it basically catches the license plate in an instant. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. So because there's a lot of lying. I had an incident. A cop doctored evidence, right? And the Saanich police called it an oversight and refused to correct it. And that costed me $336.
So wait, how would these like this help? Like
So the body cam they have, the vehicle patrol.
No, the gun. What the gun that you're talking about?
Oh, so we'll have the license plate of the vehicle. You know how they can go in court and say, because I've had a few tickets and I've won most of them, but when you go in, they have these radar guns.
Mm-hmm.
They can beam a car 15 minutes ago and then beam you for it and say, you know what, I'll just give you a ticket. I don't know if they have quarters or they don't have any quarters to fill up. But it will have, when you know how they will come and say, hey, do you know how fast you were going? They would have showed you. I'm like, this is how fast you're going. But when they show you, there's a little screen that shows your license plate.
Oh, so what you're saying is that they might have tracked a different car and just used his speed on you.
That's exactly what
happened. So
happened.
there's no way to prove that speed was
came
yours
from your car.
Or the previous car that he did it to.
100%.
So with these new guns, you're saying is they can actually detect the plate number.
Yeah, when you hit it, you hit the front of the car or the back of the car.
And it will place the plate number there with the speed of the car so that you know if it's exactly your car or not.
You're right on the money. So that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And how much do these things cost? Are they expensive than the regular ones? Like what's
anything that would make the police job hard is too expensive.
So how much do these things cost? Like, do you know the price?
I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm sure there's more than this brand new BMWs that the VPD is getting.
Okay, so you would definitely highly suggest that they definitely switch to these guns because it's way more better and way more efficient than the ones that they have right now.
It's not efficient. It's the information. That's if you're giving me a ticket for speeding or doing whatever, I need you to have a video beyond reasonable doubt. He say, she say doesn't work anymore, man. Because VPD has, since I've been here, I know 5 police officers that have gone to jail. 5 jail. One of them was selling drugs from a patrol car. Couple years ago, I forgot the name. There was another dude that recently he started going to jail for assault, abusing kids and minors. It's ridiculous.
Crazy.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. So if they have these systems, the cameras, body cameras, so when they approach you, they are like, it's easier for me and the police officer, makes the whole interaction more fluid, and then they have a better chance of following the code of conduct and standard operational procedures. It helps a lot. Outside of that, he say, she say, people go into court and they're going to lose, of course.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Final thoughts, man. Body cams. We want body cams. We want police officers to wear body cams. And also we want these police officers to have a record, like a point system. You get these many complaints, you get suspended. There shouldn't be any stories. It will force these police officers to act and follow standard operational procedures. They're there. They need to follow them. And when they don't follow them, you cannot call them an oversight. For example, last year, July 20th, I believe, there was an incident. A police officer alleged I was speeding in Victoria, gave me a ticket. We went to court. This dude, I forgot his name, Vince Clendenning, Sergeant Vince Clendenning from Central Saanich Police. This guy is a criminal. So, and probably the whole Central Saanich Police top guys could be aiding and abetting criminals.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That's why I said could be. Why do I say could be? Vince, when he came to court about a month and a bit before the court hearing that happened in March 11th this year, I asked him for material evidence. You can ask for these things. When you're going to court, you ask for this thing. The police has to give you. They must give you these material evidence. They're going to use against you in court. So I can prepare for the court hearing. He said to me two things. I send him another email. I say, are you sure this is everything? He say, that's it. This is everything. On the day of the hearing, I get there in the morning. I meet up with him. We have a chat. He's asking me, you're going to plead guilty, not guilty? I said, of course not guilty. I was not speeding. Are you crazy? He said, fine, we're going to go to trial. Now, when we go into the trial, this dude had some photos. I believe there were 4 images of the radar gun. And supposedly that was his evidence. First of all, this evidence could be doctored. 2, why didn't you provide this evidence to me when I requested them? Okay. 3, why wasn't the Central Science Police not aware of the existence of these evidence? And at the same time, I asked you about a month ago to give me everything, and you didn't. This morning, you should have disclosed, guys, I have 4 images that I forgot to give you. Here you go. But he didn't. He waited until the trial happened. And that is unethical.
Oh, so basically he hid
evidence.
Part of the evidence and waited
the most critical evidence. Now, the most thing he messed up. We got in court. The car I was driving was blue. His report says green. He was reading from his own notes. He said he stopped a green vehicle. I asked him 3 times under oath in front of the justice. And then on the report, he'd say there were children in the vehicle and an infant. I asked him how many. He said he saw 3, 2 car seats and an infant seat. So there were 2 children and an infant seat. Now, who was in the car? Lily and her older brother. Her younger brother. What's his name? David. They're all in their 30s. And Isaac was in the car. Isaac was the only infant. You understand?
Yeah.
So on his report, he said there were children and an infant. But there was only 1 infant. The 2 people that were in the car, they were grown-ups. And I'm like, are you having eyesight problems? And he said, I never lost sight. I'm like, there's no way you coming in here. The photos that you never disclosed show a blue vehicle and you're telling the court you stopped a green vehicle. And I say, motion to dismiss. We're not talking about the same car here. Or the same incident. There were no kids in the car. There was an infant. Yes. There were no children.
Yeah, so basically he was lying.
He was lying. And he was reading from his own notes. But the problem is the justice, man. The judges at the traffic court, they're not real judges. They're acting judges. They're like justice. They're called justice. So they're not real judges.
Okay.
And the chances of you getting out of that ticket is almost nil. Like 99% you're going to lose. Right? Now, I had an hour and a half hearing with this police officer. The justice, the acting judge, used the photos that the officer had not disclosed. Even Central Saanich Police, after the court hearing, I asked them, I asked you guys for this, everything involved this alleged incident. Why didn't you guys provide us with this, the defense with this information? And they were excused with, there was a guy called Paul Braley. He's, I think he's the person that responds to emails from the Central Saanich Police in Victoria.
Okay.
And he said, I'm not in a position to answer you that. I said, you guys were hiding evidence. So he sent me contact for Deputy Chief Kevin Hackett.
Okay.
New guy, Deputy Chief Kevin Hackett. So I had a chat with this guy. Pretty disrespectful type of person. And he's not there to find the truth or exercise the truth. So what happened, when I asked him about it, I forwarded him the emails and I asked him a question to say, where were these evidence? And why did your police officer not disclose this the whole month? Twice before, a few weeks before the court hearing, we emailed him. We emailed the Central Saanich Police. Never disclosed.
Okay.
And not when he found the images that appeared out of nowhere that never existed since July 20th last year, 2020, that somehow appeared somewhere.
Okay.
He printed them out, never disclosed them to the defense, even though we asked for them. And also, why did he use them as evidence and not even give us in court on the trial? Before the trial started, he should have given us like, hey, here's defense team, here's the new material evidence. He didn't. I asked for an adjournment. The judge said no, but watch this. Kevin Hackett, deputy chief, constable deputy chief, or deputy constable chief from Central Saanich Police. Do you know what he told me in the email?
What did he say?
He said there was an oversight. What is an oversight, Dougie? It's a mistake.
Yeah.
When a police officer is making mistakes, that's a misconduct. He never followed standard operational procedures. He lied about the existence of these photos, that they were not available. They don't exist. Yet somehow they appeared during the trial.
It's insane. It's crazy.
And the thing is, I asked him to write a letter to recommend a new hearing so I could get a fair chance to argue this matter in court. He said he does not want to interfere. So he's aiding and abetting police officers that are breaking the law to enforce the law. You're not supposed to break the law to enforce the law. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he refused to fix it. Now, this is the Constable Deputy Chief of Central Saanich Police, Kevin Hackett. If you're listening to this, your family should be ashamed of your actions. You need to change your ways. I have also sent this email to Chief of Police of Central Saanich, Ian Lawson. You have my email. We need you guys to fix this, and we need you guys to fire Vince Clendenning or have him disciplined. What he's doing and the fact that you guys are not willing to correct that mistake speaks volume about the type of leadership you have at Central Saanich Police. The mayor of Central Saanich, please, if you're watching this, if you ever watch this video, please have reform within that police station. You are having criminal police officers who are committing crimes and not following procedures, but out there to use this doctored evidence to punish other people because they feel like it and nobody's going to fight them. But this time, they got a real one. And I have time. And we're going to have a real one. It's
crazy. And to close this off, I noticed that you were wearing a green hat with the late Magufuli.
Yes.
He passed away a few weeks ago.
Right.
And we have a new president that is the
first female president.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that?
I love it. I think it's good for change. I'm torn. As a Tanzanian, I'm torn. As a Sukumer, the biggest tribe in Tanzania, I'm torn, man. It was interesting to watch Mr. Magufuli, the late Magufuli, perform his presidential duties. I've not seen his style for as long as I've been alive in Tanzania, and it's sad. We lost a good leader. Every person had their flaws, but again, the goods outweigh the bads. And I'm sad for the loss Tanzanians we got. It's pretty sad. But again, Mama Samia Suluhu Hassan, I think, is it?
Yes.
President, our beloved new president. We're looking forward to see what kind of changes you're going to bring to our country. I strongly believe in you, and I can't wait to see what type of new changes the country will be experiencing.
With that being said, thank you guys for watching the video, listening to the podcast. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you guys in the next video or podcast. Peace out.
Peace out. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, like, share. Just do the needful. All right.